Okay, hey guys, it's PSL here, and I'm here for the next F1 Manager Minardi Manager video, where I may as well just get out and say it initially. This is going to be the last episode recorded for the next 2 to 3 weeks, because obviously, well, when this episode comes out, I believe it will be the 4th of July when this episode comes out, and obviously 6 days after the 4th of July, it's the 10th of July, and that's when F1 2015 comes out. And obviously, I'll be getting that, playing that, and I'm going to create some content for that. Obviously, a season. Well, I'm going to do a season mode. I'm going to do a crash montage, and basically that means this series is going to go on hold, which is fine because I've been recording this series pretty much every week. Since about January, so it's nice to actually have a break of this, because I know you guys love it, and some of you will probably kill for it, but it's going to go on a 2 or 3 week break. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, I can't fancy a break anyway. I've done about half the season already, or no, half the series already. So yeah, it's nice to have a break from it. But yeah, F1 2015, I'll do content for that, and that's why there's going to be a 2-3 week break on this from this episode on, well, after this episode. But anyway, let's focus on this episode. We've got the Canadian Grand Prix circuit, Jacques Villeneuve. Yeah, one of my favourite tracks in F1 actually, a very high speed circuit, which obviously should play to our Mercedes-Benz engine, and obviously its power advantage over the rest of the field. But yeah, I was going to say let's cut on some news, but there's no point me cutting onto the news, because okay, just right off the bat, McLaren are going to confirm a lot of stuff. David Warren, commercial manager, obviously. So McLaren have got David Warren with a free added bonus of a blurred moustache photo bomber creep. I wouldn't say creep actually, but you know, guy in the background, seemingly thrown in for free with David Warren. Also, McLaren confirmed Ricardo Zonta as test driver. Okay, so that means, am I right in saying McLaren's driver number 1 is Ricardo Zonta? No, what am I saying? McLaren's driver number 1 is Gilles Villeneuve for next year. Driver number 2 is Eddie Irvine, and now their test driver is Ricardo Zonta. And also their current test driver is Olivier Panis. So it's not really a downgrade, because Zonta and Panis, I'd say, are pretty roughly equal. No, but also, yeah, McLaren are continuing on the trend of having race drivers, or former race drivers, as their test drivers, which is, I suppose, it's probably good from a research and development point of view, I suppose. Don't seem to have paid them much dividends, though. A statement from Prost. Andrew Green is their chief designer. So there you go. No one amazing, no big, super amazing person announced. Obviously, Neil Oatley and Rory Byrne are already taken. So, you know, but I mean, I'm sure there's other good chief designers. But they got Andrew Green, but whatever. John confirms Jarno Trulli as driver number 1, which means Rubens Barrichello, who is John's current driver number 1, is going. I'm pretty certain we haven't heard about Rubens Barrichello's whereabouts yet, or have we? I think we might have. Is he going to Benetton? I can't remember. Obviously, you can check all this down in the description. I cannot remember if we've heard about Rubens Barrichello's whereabouts, but regardless, Trulli's taken his spot in the team. As Trulli, former Minardi driver, in 1997, I believe. Trulli was at Minardi, and now he's going to Jordan. Obviously, Jordan, I reckon they're going to be third, maybe second best team next year. So, pretty good move for Trulli. Keller's linked to going to BAR, and also I think he's realised he went to McLaren, were the best team. As soon as he arrives at McLaren, well, they've gone downhill, and obviously they've got a Neil Oatley chassis next year. And they're continuing using Ford Zetec engines next year, but they won't have a Neil Oatley designed chassis to drag them through it. So basically, they're going to have rubbish engines and a rubbish designer. Well, a rubbish designer chassis. So Keller's realised it's a sinking ship, and he's getting out of it while he can. To BAR, a new component still for BAR. Brembo brakes, okay, nothing particularly interesting there. I'll say the worst brakes they could get. Which is weird, because BAR start off this game in the 99 season as the richest team. BAR confirms Keller driver number 1. Okay, BAR's current driver number 1 is Jacques Villeneuve, of course. Jacques Villeneuve's going to McLaren, isn't he? Yep, so basically, Villeneuve and Fisichella have now swapped places, essentially. We're yet to see if Johnny Herbert swaps places with Irvine. Obviously, Irvine is at Stewart. Yeah, obviously, actually, Johnny Herbert may well return to Stewart. You never know. But regardless, Fisichella and Villeneuve have swapped places. Basically, Villeneuve, because he's as mad as ever, is going into a sinking ship, while Fisichella is, well, he's got out of the sinking ship and has got into BAR. I don't think BAR is set to be amazing next year, but I'd be mildly surprised if they weren't on par with McLaren at least. And Heinz-Harald Frentzen rumoured to go into Benetton, so that would be... I mean, Jordan seem to be going... I reckon they're going to be very good next year. Obviously, Rory Byrne designed chassis. So basically, they're going to have... Obviously, we've seen how good Jordan are this year. So imagine how good they are, plus a slightly better chassis. They should definitely be going places next year, but Frentzen is thinking about going out. Although Benetton have also done very well this season with Coulthard and Lacey, so it might not be a bad move for Frentzen, but obviously that's all rumours. We have to see if it's confirmed. Ferrari confirmed. Well, okay, no, let's just go from the top here. Benetton confirms Patrick Head. Obviously, Patrick Head is obviously former Williams technical director with BAR this season. So he's left Frank Williams. Obviously, good old Frank Williams just there, and then he went to BAR. And now he's going to Benetton, so really, we're hearing of a lot of interesting moves going to Benetton. Obviously, we did hear about Frentzen possibly going to Benetton, but I mean that's gone down the water because Frentzen is now driver number 2 at Ferrari. So actually, Ferrari, in my opinion, have got a very, very strong driver lineup next year. I mean, you don't get much better than Schumacher driver number 1, Frentzen driver number 2. We haven't had a test driver. Obviously, this year's Luca Badoa. We yet to see whether he keeps his place. But, yeah, Schumacher driver number 1, Frentzen driver number 2. Ferrari, even though they're going to go downhill because they won't have a Rory Byrne chassis next year, but I'm fairly certain they have signed Rory Byrne, so they're going to have Rory Byrne designed aero parts next year. That is a deadly combination. And obviously Ferrari engines, which they always have. That is going to be a very, very tough lot to beat next year. And obviously Frentzen's career is actually progressing, which is always good to see. Yeah, Jordan confirms Les Olsen as commercial manager. I mean, he is actually... Oh, let me think. He is rumoured to go into... No, he actually is at Ferrari, no. I know he was definitely rumoured to go into Ferrari, but Les Olsen is actually, this year, the commercial manager for Ferrari. Going to Jordan, so Les Olsen's career is definitely progressing. It's just shot up, really, out of nowhere. Yeah, and now Les Olsen... with Jordan next year. I don't know if that's a benefit, but if Les Olsen's former Ferrari personnel, can't be that bad for Jordan, surely not. Stewart confirms Nick Worth is their chief designer. Okay, Nick Worth. Fairly certain he's one of the better chief designers. I don't remember who he's with in 1999. I could look it up. Well, I'm going to look it up. But so basically right now I'm going to look up what team Nick Worth was at in 1999. While looking here, Prost, Olivier Panis, obviously we know him, McLaren's test driver next year is going to be Ricardo Zonta, so now Prost have got Panis back, which I mean, it's not. Surely from a driver's point of view, you'd rather be in a race seat than a test driver's seat, but Olivier Panis gone back to Prost, so there you go. Let's just look at some more news. I've got to look up Nick... Oh, crap. I've got to look up Nick Worth here. Mercedes-Benz engines. Okay, Mercedes-Benz 4th model of engines. And just in case you don't know, 4th model is the last one they send, and it's the best one. I mean, look, well... Oh, no, of course, yeah, last episode we were reduced to having to use the 2nd model of engines. Because we got one model of 3rd one, that's kind of irrelevant, really. But 4th model, yes. 99 rated, that's a 3 improvement from the 3rd model, and a 5 improvement from the 2nd model, so it's a massive improvement there. in terms of engine power there. And obviously, with the next race being at Circuit Jacques Villeneuve, obviously that's a power circuit, lots of straight lines. It's a perfect time for Mercedes to send us the next engine, and that is this model of engine is the most powerful one in the game. So, obviously, you've only got 15 of them, but that should last us majority of the season at least. Arrows, tag electronics, okay, nothing amazing there. Also, they could have got Magneti and Marelli's. I don't see why they don't, because Magneti and Marelli's electronics are cheap as. Team from McLaren, Andy Fleming as their chief designer. Okay, so obviously they had Andy Lockley as their chief designer. Obviously, we poached him, and now they've got Andy Fleming. But they got Andy Fleming last year, and now they've retained him. So actually, Andy Fleming may not be that bad of a chief designer, and obviously obviously we know McLaren for a fact chassis is going to be worse next year. That's a given. Andy Fleming's chassis isn't going to be as good. We know that, but if they're keeping Andy Fleming next year, it means he must be a half-decent designer, and that also implies that his chassis next year might not be that bad. So, just going on sheer logic, McLaren's chassis might not be that much of a downgrade because they're keeping Andy Fleming, so he must be half-decent. And anyway, I've got Nick Worth's Wikipedia page while doing all of this. Simtech. Nick Worth was at Simtech, wow. But he was chief designer for Benetton in 1999, okay. And then RoboDog, what the fuck is RoboDog? Okay, I'm looking at... Well, I should really be commentating on this video, not looking at Nick Worth's... Okay, so he's at Simtech, doing what? Max Mosley and Nick Worth founded Simtech Research. Wow, Nick Worth. So Nick Worth's going to Stewart, actually. Nick Worth has got a lot going for him. Founder, owner, technical director of Simtech F1 team, chief designer for Benetton, founded RoboDog, whatever that is, I don't even want to click on it. But back to the video, okay, interesting news. AP Racing for Stewart. Well, that'd be good, obviously, if they got that. Obviously, joint best brakes for Stewart and best electronics for Williams if they actually go through those deals. But Jordan for test driver. Oh, okay. So we know a gap opened up at Jordan because Frentzen's left. No, have they only announced one driver at Jordan? Point is, there's been so many driver confirmations for next year, I cannot remember them all. Well, we know Frentzen's gone. Have they announced anyone next? No, of course they announced Trulli, yes. They announced Trulli's driver number 1. There's still the slot for driver number 2. But apparently Herbert didn't take it. They took test driver, which is, well, to my mind, a downgrade. Because obviously, 1999, race driver for Stewart. Then race driver for McLaren, no less. Sure, you'd have thought that would give him some prestige. Well, apparently not, because Jordan had made him a test driver. But the only crumb of comfort I can think for half-naked Johnny Herbert, the only crumb of comfort I can think for him is Jordan might well be the third, maybe even second best team next year, obviously. Because we've seen how good they are this year, but imagine that with better chassis. That's what they're going to be like next year. So Jordan may well be brilliant. So maybe he's gone out of the sinking ship and into a test driver slot for potentially one of the best teams next year. I think it's the only crumb of comfort I can really say from there. I don't know why he didn't go for Stewart or driver number 2 at Jordan or anything. Don't know. It's a competitive world out there in the driver market, and that's it. Okay, right, we ended it on a bombshell. Go obviously Top Gear. I'm not going to talk about time. No, obviously, well, I mean, at the time of recording this, I record this Monday morning. Obviously, final proper Top Gear aired last night. It was a sad time, but I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, obviously named after the legend F1 driver Gilles Villeneuve. A track which I'm fairly certain. No, Jacques Villeneuve never won. I'm pretty certain he's famous for not winning this track. Winning the Canadian Grand Prix. That's a good way of wording it. Yeah, Jacques Villeneuve's famous for not winning the Canadian Grand Prix. But yeah, I mean, he might well win in this game this year. I doubt it. Now, from our point of view, Minardi, better engines, the most powerful engines in the game we got now. We could well be going up in the world, and obviously with this being a power circuit like Monza, it's one that relies on engine power more than other circuits. So I'm really looking forward to this race. I'm sort of optimistic as to how we'll do. You know, I mean, a podium place maybe. We got the most powerful engines now out of everyone, so I think a podium is achievable. But well, let's just see how it goes with either anything interesting in practice or the qualifying report. Okay, and so we've just had the qualifying for the 8th round this season at Canada at the circuit Jacques Villeneuve, and there has been a few surprises as qualifying, so I'll best take you through them. The person in first, as per usual, is not a surprise, is Michael Schumacher. To be honest, Michael Schumacher qualifies first so often I'm pretty sure you're not even allowed to bet who finishes on pole position, because out of the 8 rounds this season, it's always been Michael Schumacher by several seconds a lap, and I'm pretty certain there's not even bets on pole position now because it's guaranteed Michael Schumacher, unless he has a car failure. Second is a surprise, it's actually Fisichella in the McLaren, which is very unexpected, as obviously the McLaren use Ford Zetec engines which are woefully underpowered in comparison to some of their rivals' engines, but obviously McLaren, we know that they have a near-Oatley chassis, so it shows that even though this is a power circuit, good aero parts and good chassis do still matter, and it's not all about sheer engine power seemingly, as the Benetton of David Coulthard with its more powerful Supertech engine lines up just behind in third. Neil McEwen puts in a semi-good performance in fourth, which is better than we've seen from him many a time this season where he's been way down the field, with Jean Lacey in the second Benetton, a couple of places away from his teammate, as Jean Lacey's in 5th, with Rubens Barrichello in the Jordan rounding out the top 6 positions as he is in 6th. Mika Salo in the Minardi is 7th, with Ralf Schumacher 8th in the Williams, and Johnny Herbert several places off of his teammate, as Johnny Herbert's in 9th while Fisichella's in 2nd. Damon Hill was 10th in the other Minardi, with both stewards of Irvine and Trulli in 11th and 12th. Jacques Villeneuve isn't doing that brilliantly at a track which has his family name in it, and he might continue his run of not being able to win at his home track as he's in 13th, with Takaki in 14th. Heinz-Harald Frentzen has a disappointing performance for the Jordan as he's in 15th, way off of his teammate, and Laurent Redon puts in a performance which is better than we usually see from the rookie driver, as Laurent Redon is 16th. Ricardo Zonta in the Prost is 17th, Wirtz is 18th, Pedro Diniz is 19th, Zanardi has a dreadful performance in the Sauber as he's 20th, and is ahead of nobody apart from the 2 Arrows which are last as per usual, but Pedro De La Rosa, interestingly this time, is ahead of the former Minardi driver Marc Genet, as Marc Genet set a lap time 2.5 seconds a lap slower than Pedro De La Rosa, and that means that Genet is making up the back of the pack for tomorrow's race. Okay then, so hey guys, so that was the qualifying results. Kind of mixed opinions as to qualifying really. I'll kind of hope for more, but obviously don't get any points for qualifying. It's all about race, so that's one-stop strategy for this race. Obviously I've calculated the fuel up myself, which I'm going to do always from now on, so you guys can stop pestering me in the comments. I'm doing it, I'm calculating the fuel myself, it's fine, trust me. Doing better than Mike Gascoigne. I don't know whether Mike Gascoigne was backstabbing or whether he's an idiot or whether the game's broken, but either way, basically Mike Gascoigne has now got, well, Mike Gascoigne, he's still, to be fair, Mike Gascoigne does still have a job. I mean, not only does he still manufacture parts for us, he does still determine whether it's a 1-stop, 2-stop or 3-stop. So, he does have some job for us, it's just I've taken the mass away from him because he either doesn't want to do it or can't do it, and I dread to think which. Well, I mean, I still have a fairly high opinion of Mike Gascoigne. Well, I think I do. But anyway, let's get off of that. Let's just continue on to the start of the race. Put both of our drivers on hold position. Obviously, Mika Salo is actually in contention for a points finish. So yeah, let's just see how the start goes. Mikasalo in 7th, and just single file. I see that in Formula 1 all the time. Single file. Stop. What? Okay, it's this game. I cannot commentate this game. We've had a BAR actually behind make a move on a Williams there. I was able to see that. But up front, not a lot going on. Zanardi's worryingly being hounded by the Arrows. Actually, no, he pulled out a bit of a gap already. Okay, replay here. This is Mikasalo as he made a move on Bruno's Barrichello, obviously rivals ever since Imola. And have we made the move? No, Bruno's Barrichello cut us off. And brilliant stuff there. Was that Salo? Nah, yeah, that must have been Salo. Had to have been. Yeah, because Frentzen was in like 15th or something. It's ridiculous. There's Damon Hill, he's in 10th. He has made no ground whatsoever. And there's Salo. Now is he going to make the move on Bruno's Barrichello? They're both weaving all over the place. It's going to show us a replay of the weave. Well, look how violent this is from both drivers here. Just look at that. That was just brilliant driving. Obviously, it's the other way around from Imola. Obviously, Imola weren't able to make the move there. John Lacey, was he able to make a move on Neil McEwen? Oh, it's getting all tight right now. John Lacey past the Ferrari. Well done. Oh, that is brilliant. I love to see that. Damon Hill, has he made a move on the McLaren? Lots of moves being made in this hairpin. Oh, beautiful. That's going in the season montage. Sneeze there, God. That is going in the season montage. I'm telling you, beautiful move on the McLaren from Damon Hill, nonetheless as well. Mikasalo still behind Bruno's Barrichello. It's the opposite to Imola, where obviously we were holding up and violently defending Barrichello. Barrichello's now violently defending us. I don't know if violently is the right word. I mean, he's swerving around violently. Just okay. Any more moves? No. Prost with the winner F1 sponsor. I love it. Look at that. Look at them. They're winning the race. Apart from the fact Deniz is in 19th. Okay, winner F1. They might want to change who they sponsor. Could sponsor us. Okay. I think I had some commentary then. I don't really know. Let's just ignore it. Salo. Oh, Genet's out. Oh, Genet, that's pathetic. Out already. And seriously, I do actually... Any former Minardi personnel. So Gustav Brune, obviously, he's at Prost at the minute. Massimo Cusimano's at Williams, obviously. And Williams are, doing alright for themselves. Any former Minardi personnel, I always look out for them and their team. And obviously, who's the other one? Gabriel Chiedozi. I think he went to Sauber. Yeah, I always look out for those teams, even if I don't mention it. But I always look out for Genet as well. I would look out for Padoa, but obviously he's a test driver. But Genet, I look out for him, and no point in me looking out for him because he's retired with a driver error. So is Johnny Herbert in the McLaren. I do not know what's going on with that McLaren, because both Herbert and Fisichella are both very good drivers, but they just really struggle to keep their car on the road. Irvine's out of a driver error. Okay, we are out of the points. Let's tell them to push, shall we? I think, screw it, we got nothing to lose. Jean Lacey in the Benetton out of a suspension failure. That's gutting. Obviously, we saw Jean Lacey make a move on Neil McEwen this week, which Neil McEwen's now in 2nd, so he's gotten past people. But Benetton, Jean Lacey, that's disappointing for him, to be honest. Oh, I can hear some dogs outside. I just want to shut up. You probably can't hear it, to be honest, but it's annoying. Mikasalo 8th, Damon Hill 11th. Let's tell our drivers to push. Yep. So we can't have outside points. To be fair, we got nothing to lose. We may as well tell them to push, because if we're not in the points, we got nothing to lose. De La Rosa's 5 laps behind. That's pathetic. It's not really his fault. I mean, he hasn't got the best equipment to work with, but yeah, just Arrows. They're a joke of a team. They really are. And in this game, I've got nothing against them when they were in real life, but no, just in this game, they're such a joke. Barrichello have a barge board failure. Okay. Lots of the big teams have had one retirement. Obviously, McLaren, Stewart, Benetton, and Jordan have all got one car out of the race. We've got both cars in the race, but none of them in the points, which is weird, because obviously we've got the most powerful engine in the game now. Haven't really been able to have utilised it properly, seemingly. We're sandwiching Takaki. I'm going to tell... I feel like... Okay, I'm going to tell him to push. Mental energy, that's what I'm thinking about. You can't... We're going to tell them to hold position for a few laps. Let their mental energy recover, and then we're going to go on a dash for the last... we're going to go on a dash for the last few laps. De La Rosa 8 laps behind. It's pathetic. Trulli's now gotten past Hill. Solo's in the points, okay, so Solo has got something to lose. That's because Damon Hill barged off. Oh god, oh god. Okay. It's all going. It's hectic now. Okay. Let's just slow it down a sec. What's happened here? Fizzy Keller's have an engine failure. I didn't even see that. Fizzy Keller have an engine failure. That's embarrassing. Obviously, good thing we're not using Ford Zetec engines. Damon Hill, really disappointingly, we did fit new parts to the cars, but unfortunately, he drew a short straw this race. He has had barge or failure. Heinz-Harald Frentzen with a driver error. Mekaslar is now in 4th. Okay. And finally, Neil McEwen with an engine failure. I swear Neil McEwen keeps on getting engine failures, and Schumacher never does. I mean, they're probably scripting, Ferrari scripting. Now, I think Ferrari are actually fixing events. I think is what they're doing. Lost the place to Takaki. The problem is, if I turn the push, we've actually got something to lose if Salo retires. He's only... It's worth the risk. Screw it. It's worth the risk. We've got to get past Takaki. That's all I want. It's just to be ahead of Takaki. Although we haven't actually got past Takaki. Okay, if Takaki's pulling away when we're on push, there's no point. We're not going to catch up to him. I'm not going to put on risk everything in the race unless it's literally just desperate. And this is not a desperate... Shit, this is a desperate situation. I am sorry for swearing, but Jarno Trulli's got past us. And I know I was saying I want Jarno Trulli to get some points. I feel sorry for him. I've said it all season, but I do not want him to get some points if it's at the expense of us. Can I have the onboard camera, please? The onboard camera's the only one I give a monk. Trulli's pulling away from us. What? It says Sala's in 5th. Are we in a retirement? We have it's David Coulthard. Oh, that is gutting. I think he was 2nd. I think. That is gutting. But that means we've got both Schumachers 1st and 2nd. I'm gonna just tell Sala to push. See where he ends up. Let's just watch him. There's no point. Jacques Villeneuve is going to get a point at his home race. Still not a win though. Still not really ideally what he wants. Yeah, we're going to come home in 5th. Yeah, come home in 5th. Oh no, Jacques Villeneuve wasn't even able to get a point. Driver error. That is gutting. A driver error from Villeneuve on the 3rd to last lap. Which means Verts and the Sauber's got some points. Brilliant performance to him. Laurent Radon in 8th. Again, makes him look good, but in reality, all he's been able to do is keep it going. Unlike other drivers, really. Where... Oh, yeah, a ton of retirements that race. Okay, so Salo's got 2 championship points there. But really, Michael Schumacher dominated, winning the race again. Ralf Schumacher in 2nd, so again, it's a Schumacher show. Takaki 3rd, so he's actually putting a good performance. I think that's the 2nd race, only the 2nd race of the season where he scored points, but it's actually a decent performance from Takaki. Well, it's not actually. I mean, it did rely a lot on Frentzen retiring, Barrichello retiring, Damon Hill retiring, Coulthard retiring, Neil McEwen retiring, Herbert and Fizzy Keller retiring. It did rely on all of those, but regardless, Takaki got a podium. Is that the first? I believe that's the first podium of his career. Well done to Takaki, got the first podium of his career there. Jarno Trulli 4th in the Stewart. Brilliant performance to him. I don't know whether those are the first points he scored this series, but if it is, massive congratulations to him. Mika Salo 5th, 2 World Championship points for us. And Frentzen the Sauber, I mean, I've got to commend him. I've got to commend him and the Sauber team for scoring points. So, congratulations to Frentzen and Sauber there for scoring some points where loads of people, including Villeneuve, chucked it away. And Villeneuve's bad run at this circuit. I mean, what I want to know is something I'm not quite aware of is obviously Jacques Villeneuve won the championship in 1997. How come he didn't win the Canadian Grand Prix in '97? That's something I want to know. I should probably know that. But anyway, yeah, Ferrari win at Villeneuve, at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Obviously, we gotta remember. I'll do it right now. Damon Hill with his barge board failure was gutting, but I'll remember to put a new barge board on because else I'll forget, and then he'll go and practice and instantly retire with a broken barge board. Yes, that was the race. Bittersweet, really. I mean, we got a couple of points. I can't really complain. And obviously lots of our rivals, like Benetton and Jordan didn't score points, but worryingly, Williams scored a lot. 10 points they would have scored. They might well have overtaken us then. Well, let's look. Drivers' Championship. Ralf Schumacher is ahead on points. Yeah, he must have overtaken Salo then. Yeah, if he's only 3 points ahead, he must have done. I think so, anyway. Where is Trulli? 3 points. Where did he finish? No, hang on, if Trulli scored 3 points, must be the first point. Trulli, first points of the season. Trulli, I really do like Trulli as a driver. I mean, in the Trulli train and all that, but Trulli I really liked him, and finally got some points this series. I'm fairly certain he is the last driver. No, of course, Genet and De La Rosa both haven't, but bar those two, the last driver this series, who's been racing in both seasons to score points. Anyway, yeah, Constructors' Championship, it's getting tight. Okay, so Ferrari first, Benetton second, Jordan third, Williams fourth, they overtook us. We're 5th. Okay, so we're a fair way ahead of McLaren. And we're not too far behind. Well, we're 1 point behind Williams, and in actuality, we're not too far behind Benetton. Okay, so second to really second down to 6th. Really, it's close. But I think the key thing is we're not going to lose. I mean, we got to finish 6th this season, as you know, for the manager. No, for the board of directors to be happy. And obviously, well, yeah. 6th is McLaren, and BAR. I don't reckon BAR are even going to get 25 points this season, let alone them get 25 points and us score no more for the rest of the season. So I think we're safe for 6th, but really, I can't aim for higher. Really, 4th, I'll be happy with 4th. 3rd would be brilliant. If we get top 3 in the constructors, that'd be brilliant. Manager rating, okay. Rocco Benetton 2nd, actually, challenging Jean Todt to be the best manager of this series. Frank Williams just behind. Yeah, well, I mean, actually, Frank Williams double podium. And obviously double podium, and he did that with Takaki at the wheel. So, I think that deserves good manager rating. But I still do not understand why Eddie Jordan is so low on the manager rating. Obviously, this race he didn't do too well. But, I mean, done well in races gone by. So, I don't know what that's all about. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Let's just go for that. I was going to say something, and I can't remember what it was now. Next race, Magneti Cause. Okay. Lap record, race lap record apparently still held by Nigel Mansell. So yeah, obviously Magneti Cause not my favourite track. I mean, it's French Grand Prix. It's an alright track. I mean, hopefully we can do well there. Hopefully it could be an exciting French Grand Prix. I mean, I don't think there's ever been an amazing French Grand Prix. But I mean, the track. I don't know if you look at the track layout, look at the potential for insane stuff to happen. I mean, we'll find out next episode, obviously in 2 or 3 weeks' time, whether we do actually score some decent points there. But, obviously, yeah, 2 or 3 weeks' time, obviously, because I already said F1 2015 content is coming soon. But, during that 2-3 week gap, I want I want to come back sort of with a bang, so I want you guys to answer 2 questions in the comments, because I know in the past 2 episodes, the amount of comments has kind of dwindled a bit, so I'm trying to hope I can reinvigorate that a bit. So I've got a couple of questions for you guys. First one is I haven't announced any personnel yet. No technical directors or well, obviously a new technical director and the 3 new drivers I haven't announced yet. Now, first thing is, when do you want me to announce the new drivers? So obviously driver number 1, 2 and test driver. Do you want me to do that before the last race of the season, after the last race, or, you know, the test driver in a couple of races time, and then the race drivers at the end, or whenever you want me to announce the drivers, put that in the comments. And I'm also going to announce the technical director at the start of next episode. We're going to kickstart the series again when we come back from the break for F1 2015. So I want you guys to put in the comments what technical director you reckon I've got, whether it's a big name one like what are the 2? Adrian Newey and Ross Brawn, or whether you reckon it's well, obviously it's not Patrick Hale, I was going to say, obviously, or whether it's anyone else, I don't know, but leave down in the comments which technical director you reckon I've got, and when you reckon I should announce the drivers. And also you could put down your predictions for the drivers you think I've gotten as well. That could be something fun. Which drivers you think I've gotten, when I'm going to announce them, and which technical director. So I look forward to reading your comments and coming back with a bang for the French Grand Prix next race. So I'll see you guys then.